But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Here's Johnny.
Excuse me? A baking powder?
I want the fairy tale.
Donkey!
Scusa.
What became of your lamb, Clarice?
You lose. Good day, sir.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Because once a wildcat, always a wildcat.
I am inevitable.
What is up, guys? The regulars are back with another episode. We are back with our Apple Music Top 100 Albums breakdown. We had a little bit of a hiatus. Stuff got busy, and we have power this time, so that's a positive. Yeah. That is, I think the last episode went really well, though.
Yeah, it did.
Actually, I feel like I heard more people talk to me about that episode and like that they enjoyed it and everything. So
heck yeah.
No one said the audio quality was unbearable. So that's good.
I did hear one person say, "Oh, you got to speak up" or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But,
I mean,
hey, you're listening. That's great.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, we're back with what is this 60 through 41?
Yes.
And
61.
Yeah, 61. Yeah, 'cause we kind of rushed after the Tupac pick. Rayleigh had to leave, and is it Sade we're going to be talking about?
Yeah,
I did not listen to whoever that is. He, she, they. But I did not listen to that.
Boo and Clay or Sade?
No,
Clay.
Oh, okay.
He missed out, man.
I forgot. But yeah, we're going to talk about some good stuff. I've got all 20 of these 60 through 41s listened to, though. So
part of them.
Yeah, part of them.
Like you didn't really have listened to all of them.
Once you listen to
part of all
once you listen to about 2 songs, you get enough. Especially some of it. Well, who's the jazz person on this one?
Oh, John Coltrane?
Yep, did not listen to that.
Yeah.
Did not listen to that. I'll let y'all talk about that one. But yeah, we're gonna get it open with a little.
Didn't listen to 2 of the 8-minute songs out of the 4 8-minute
Four
songs?
four 8-minute jazz. Yeah. I'm good.
Jazz for you.
I'm good. But yeah, we're gonna open up a little introductory topic as well. I think it's gonna be like top 3 concerts, something like that, something fun. And but before we get into that, let me do an ad read. We have yet another new sponsor for Dirty Boot Sports, Championship Carts. Championship Carts is a premier dealer of Evolution luxury golf carts in North Louisiana. We carry a variety of models to choose from with carts that seat 2, 4, or 6 and a selection of 8 color options. All of our products are equipped with lithium batteries, a 9-inch touchscreen, Bluetooth compatibilities, and a backup camera. And select models offer silent off-road tires to tackle a more rugged terrain. You can find Championship Carts on Facebook or Instagram. Give us a call at 318-560-3464 so we can discover which model would be the perfect fit for you. So shout out to Championship Carts. That's our first time reading that, and that sounds freaking awesome. Like reading that got me wanting a golf cart.
I know. I want to play golf, man.
Yeah. I think Rayleigh texted the other day. He was like, I don't play golf, but if I did, I'd have a Championship cart.
Well, they're good looking, man.
They really are. They really are. And one of the, this is a music podcast that we're doing here. There's like no better feeling than just driving around like a golf cart or something like that and playing some music. It's such a vibe.
Oh,
it
no
really
doubt.
is.
It really is. Yeah.
Especially in that Louisiana heat, kind of cools it down when you're going about 25 miles per hour.
That's right, man.
But yeah, so shout out to Championship Carts. Shout out to all of our sponsors, and yeah, let's get into this. So, Rayleigh, lead us off with your top 3 concerts.
Oh man, what a hard task to do, but something I'm excited to talk about.
Maybe a better question: you probably don't even have count. How many have you been to?
I don't have count, man, and I've forgotten.
What's rough estimate?
Maybe 15.
Really? That's it?
Well, no, I mean it's way more than that. Yeah, that's, yeah.
I was thinking 50 for you.
It very well could be, man.
Or are you thinking 15 in terms of like purchased tickets? Because I feel like you're the type of guy to just go to a bar and hear a random guy that's playing guitar or something.
That's true, right? The number gets a little skewed. When I was in college, Rabs had a bunch of concerts. Yeah. Miranda Lambert, Gary Allen. I've probably seen Gary Allen like 7 times.
Miranda Lambert, that's crazy.
Yeah, before she was.
Is that for free?
No, these all I paid for. It was like $20 back then, but
that's practically free.
Yeah, well, back then it was a lot, and I can tell you a couple cool stories real quick. But this girl I knew in high school, this is genius. She was a big Cross Canadian Ragweed fan. They were coming to.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's right. Check them out.
Crossing.
Y'all.
What did you say?
Y'all alternative country is what they call it.
Crossinated.
No, Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Cross Canadian Ragweed.
They have some songs that will hook you in.
Okay.
And she was a big fan, and she wanted to meet him. So she printed a Rustin Daily Leader lanyard.
Nice.
Yellow notepad, knocked on the tour bus, had said, "Hey, I'm with Rustin Daily Leader. I'm doing an article for the paper. I've got 20 questions I'd like to ask you."
Oh, my God.
They said, "Absolutely, come on in." They drank some beer. She did, they were drinking beers, answered all her questions, and it was like, I was like, man, what a genius thing to do. That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It really is probably, I don't know, man. Maybe it's 100 because I've seen a lot of people multiple times,
Okay. So, yeah, top 3. What you got?
Well, without a doubt, I'm going to start off with Metallica. And I don't know if I've seen Metallica 4 or 5 times, but you got to see Metallica.
Wow.
It's a great show. Some of the qualities I look for in a concert is really it's a high bar set, especially for an older band, but is how close do you sound to the album? Yeah. I want to,
I like that.
I really don't like going to a show, poor audio, poor surroundings. We could get into acoustics forever because there's a lot of big venues that just aren't set up for a concert. But Metallica, for their age, sounds really like the albums for the most part, and I also like entertainment, right? Stage setups, screens, different things like that, and Metallica hits the nail on the head every time. I've seen great opening acts for them throughout the years. It's always somebody good. Gojira, probably saying that wrong, is a great band I've seen for them. Lamb of God was scary, and I'll tell you another funny story about that another day. But overall, Metallica, the friends I've taken to Metallica have been blown away, and it's just unbelievable, man. Love them. If y'all get a chance, even if you're not a fan, go see them.
How big are the venues? Were those
huge?
So, like arenas or stadiums?
Yeah, I mean, the last time I saw them was AT&T Stadium, and it's sold out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, preferably floor. I like a floor seat. I'm getting up there in age, and I forgot Limp Bizkit was there with them one time. That was great. It's hard for me to deal with like a 4-band lineup standing. So more recently, I kind of like that first few rows of seats just off the stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I do prefer that. But Metallica, man, you will leave with goosebumps. It's great, and they have so many songs to play. Probably, I'm going to go in a different direction with number 2, Garth Brooks. And I am a huge Garth Brooks fan.
That would be a really cool concert to go to.
Garth Brooks is phenomenal.
Did you see him at Tiger Stadium?
I did not. No.
I just feel like Colin Baton Rouge is just that's one of those top tier concert experience songs.
Gotta be. And in Tiger Stadium, I can only imagine. That's like once in a lifetime.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the one that set off like a earthquake, right?
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
I honestly have no idea what that song is. To tell you the truth,
you'd know if you heard it.
I can't name the lyric.
You can't?
No.
But have you been to a football game at LSU?
No, I have not.
Oh, it comes on there.
It's the craziest thing ever. I have not, for some reason.
You got to go,
We're in a freaking LSU room.
Yeah.
And I've never been to an LSU
We're
football
taking
game.
Clay to a LSU
Chance has been to like 3.
They're great.
And I never get to go. He goes with freaking girlfriends' families.
No, we're taking you, bud. Problem solved. But I want to shout out to Woods real quick because Woods is not really a country guy. That's not what he digs. 80s rock, R&B, old school stuff. He's a big fan of that. He went to Garth Brooks and was like, "Dude, I've seen so many concerts, and this one blew me away. It was great." Garth is an entertainer, and he's going to entertain you. Again, that's another one I would not pass up. Just go to it, even if you only know one song. I guarantee you're going to enjoy it, man. Now on to number 3. Ooh, it gets hard. Wasn't sure which direction to go, but without a doubt, I'm going to go Drive By Truckers. Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? And I had to put them on the list because it's my favorite band probably currently. But why they deserve to be on this is, and I've seen them 3 or 4 times now to think about it, but Drive-by truckers, they'll play for 2.5 hours. Like they kind of play until the venue says it's time to go, man. The first show I went to, I was not prepared. I thought I was a fan. I only knew half the songs. I couldn't believe they played that many songs, but it only made me that much more of a fan. And to dig into their back catalogs, they have 7 or 8 albums, probably more than that. And now I like every album, know every song when they play it, and I can't wait to check them out, man. Wow! And I'm not going to stop there. There's more.
Where did you see them at?
Drive-by Truckers. The first show was in Monroe at one of those little, how those concert venues pop on and off. And I've talked about it briefly before, but the Outlaw Country Cruise, which is a 6-man. Me and Clay share a love for 6-man. They have multiple cruises. Hopefully we can get them to be a sponsor because we love them so much.
Freaking awesome.
You got to check them out. Whatever your tastes are, they have a cruise for you just about. And
we did the Kevin Smith movie one, and then as we were getting off, they were changing our boat into a goth cruise.
Yeah.
Why not?
Polar opposites.
Go for it.
And just for you at home to tell you how valuable the experience is, the Outlaw Country Cruise is probably 30 acts.
It's insane.
They play 2 or 3 times. They're intimate venues. You're on a cruise. You go to exotic destinations, and that's great. But what I like the most about it is these people can't avoid you.
Yeah.
I would get on the elevator, and here's a hero. I would walk down the hall, and here's a hero. Autographs galore.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Meet and greets.
It's awesome.
Drive-by truckers. I saw them twice. They have 2 lead singers. Each lead singer did a solo concert as well. So it's like 4 drive-by truckers concerts in a week, which is great, man.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance, go on one of those.
Yeah, those are very, very cool.
One last thing, because I know I need to give up the mic. Some, what do you call it when it's
honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely Mike and the Moon Pies. Y'all know how I feel about them.
Yeah.
I won't say much about them. New Country, they have a pedal steel player. It's great. Go listen to them. Great show. Justin Timberlake. I've seen him twice.
Hey, recently in the news. Just got arrested.
Yeah, poor guy. He had 1 martini.
Get off.
Don't drink martinis, guys, because it had his eyes red.
Apparently the quote when he got arrested was, "This is going to mess up the tour."
Oh, no.
And the cop was so young that he said, "What tour?" He didn't know who he was.
Kind of like that.
He said
cop
world
that got
tour.
The golfer. Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah. Do you know Tiger Woods? Is he good? Yeah, that guy was a joke. But Justin Timberlake puts on a great show. My wife's a fan. She's made me a fan. I'm a fan now. That probably should be in my top 3 because
a lot of women in the building.
Lots of women, lots of dancing, and his band's great, man. Okay. And it set's great. A lot of entertainment. Loved it. And third one is Boys II Men.
Oh, that'd be a cool one.
Wow.
Seen them twice. Really good memories. Especially
lots of women in the building.
Lots of women in the building. You're sandwiched in between women. And just a good memory for me is Nicole singing at the top of her lungs to every single word.
There we go.
It's just great. Just seeing her belt it out.
It's the best. It's the best. So when you did that, did you go off of personal favorite or best experience? Like, I think there's different ways to look at a concert.
I see where you're going, but the top tier is the same for me. Personal experience, and
because I think it would be different if I go like my favorite versus the best. Like, I think that they could be a little bit different.
Go with your favorite, I think.
Yeah, I think you should go with your favorite. I mean, these are my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, can I guess your favorite, Clay? Do you think I can get your top 3? Maybe not in order, but
Tyler
probably
Tyler the Creator.
You see, I have 2 different lists for my best 3 and my favorite 3,
and they're not even close.
I think they'd be 3 different each. I think each of them would be 3 different names.
Favorite 3 is you've got Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes.
You've got the Jambalaya Fest.
No, actually,
no, it's not in that one.
I did pass out at that, so that kind of ruined the experience.
Did you get too high?
Was that the same one?
Knees locked up. I'll tell that story in a minute.
Lil Wayne? That was a different one.
Yeah, my 3 for favorites would be Lil Wayne, Olivia Rodrigo, Zach Bryan.
Yep.
Hey,
but I think the 3 best shows I've been to are Ed Sheeran, Kendrick Lamar, and then maybe Olivia, maybe Zach Bryan. Zach Bryan's
was
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
He's a rising star, man.
Yeah.
How long did he play, by the way?
Zach?
Yeah.
A long time.
Because each album has 30
about
songs.
20, what was it, 24
it was like 20,
songs?
25 songs.
Yeah. What a set list.
But he did Revival for 14 minutes at the end.
Dang.
14
Awesome.
minutes. It was incredible.
One of the best concert experiences.
So if I did my top 3 favorite, it'd be, I still think Olivia was my favorite experience. And then Zach Bryan's number 2, and then Lil Wayne's number 3. Lil Wayne was my first concert, 5th row in Shreveport. I had the flu. I did not stop myself from going. He probably performed the longest of any artist I've ever been to.
Really?
I think he did 2-hour sets.
See, I respect
and then
that.
he had a 10-minute intermission in between them.
Yeah.
So like the first hour was this was 2016, so it was some of his new mixtapes, and popular songs like that. And then he comes out the second half and he does some Carter 3 stuff. He does Fireman, Go DJ, stuff like that. So it was like 2 different eras of Wayne, because he could do that, and it was, I think, $80 to sit 5th row in Shreveport to watch Lil Wayne. That.
Those days are gone.
It's incredible. And then also Ray Shremmerd was the opener for them, which was an awesome show. So that's probably the best experience for me, because it was my first concert. It was what I would call at that time my favorite artist of all time, and still is one of my favorite artists of all time. That was an awesome time, even though I had the flu, but did not stop myself from going. Olivia, she was that's probably the loudest I've ever been to a concert. It's only there's a door closing. It was in. Have you been to the Pavilion in Dallas?
Yeah.
That's where that was. What's that hold? 3,000 people, maybe 5,000.
I think it's bigger than that.
It ain't too many though.
Yeah.
With the lawn and everything,
Yeah.
you can pack in people. But
Yeah.
probably the most intimate experience I've seen, especially for someone her size at the time. She did the smallest venues possible, pretty much.
Yeah.
And everyone in that building was yelling. It was crazy. So that's what I like about concerts, is being in the building and hearing the crowd sing the songs.
Amen.
That's the I'm wanting to go to Zach Bryan again and just sit nosebleeds, because I don't necessarily care about staring at them.
Yeah.
I just want to be in the building with everybody singing.
That's right.
So, and with Olivia, I think that was the best experience of that. And then Zach Bryan was just, he's quickly into my top 3 favorite artists of all time. So, that experience was awesome. But honorable mentions, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
At Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. So that's 70,000 people, or 80,000 probably.
Yeah.
That man ran the world that night. It was incredible. Also, Khaled was the opener for him. Very good show as well. Ed during what was the song? I think A-Team. A-Team. He got the flashlights out. Everyone in that building had a flashlight out. It was just those are those moments that
it's
you're
magical.
it's magical, literally. And then Kendrick Lamar. That was
a heck of a
that's
performance
probably,
wise.
That's the
awesome.
craziest. The stage.
The way he had the stage and everything done was awesome.
He brings out this big box that he was in, and then he was on top of the box.
There's a glowing box that lowers from the ceiling.
I'm pretty sure they shot fireworks out at one point. And we're in a freaking basketball arena. But his, from a technical standpoint, was probably the craziest. And also Baby Keem opened for him, who that was he was the reason I was there. It wasn't even for Kendrick. And then I say all of them, and I don't even mention my favorite moment, which would be Travis Scott coming out of the Drake concert, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Only repeats I've seen Migos twice, I think. Yeah. I saw Migos at Jambalaya Festival in Dallas. I passed out at that. We were that was gates opened at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was there mainly for Chance the Rapper at 9 p.m. So we got there about as early as possible. It was on Cinco de Mayo in Texas.
Yeah.
At the Cotton Bowl.
110 degrees.
Yes. There were people passing out left and right everywhere. We were about third set in. There was a Spanish woman got on stage and was dancing with her mom for Cinco de Mayo. I was not interested. She was rapping in Spanish and I could not understand her. I said to myself, I'm going to take a nap. As I leaned up on the railing, next thing I know, I'm on the ground.
Did you go to the hospital?
they went and checked me out, like did my blood pressure, all that crap. We called my parents, and I'm like, I'm not leaving. Like it's 2:00. Chance the Rapper don't come on for 7 more hours. I'm staying my butt here. So we stayed, but we were like the 5th person from the stage, and then we were obviously way further back after. But yeah, I think the only people I've seen multiple times is I saw Migos there, and then I saw Migos with Drake. Everybody else has been new experiences. But yeah, what you got, Aston?
I think my first one, just because of what we said a while ago and the fact that I knew pretty much the whole set list, would be Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem. Just a incredible performance and everything. Just the whole setup of it was awesome. Second, I'm gonna say Zach Bryan. That was just
it's great,
incredible concert. I mean, I was listening to him before Clay, but Clay got me listening to more of his music than I was before.
And pretty much forced everyone around my life.
And so I knew pretty much all the songs that he performed. There were a couple I didn't know about, and then I started listening to them more after the concert. So that was a really cool one. And then the third one's kind of hard for me because the next 3 are all pretty equal, but for different reasons for me. If I had to give it to one, I'd maybe say Ed Sheeran, just because I'm not a huge Ed Sheeran fan. Like listening to his music,
I was
live,
the same way before that concert.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's so different, him performing it live, and I liked it so much more. And just the way that he performed with his, he did all the instrumentals himself and would just like hit the little pedal thing that he had.
Awesome.
That would keep it on a loop.
And he was spinning around the entire.
And so you just slowly get all the instruments added in as he does them.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
That shows you his skill.
Yeah.
To be doing that in front of 80,000 people for an hour and a half, and that's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
You didn't mention the Lumineers.
That's what I was about to bring up as the first honorable mention.
Hey.
This is what I was going to say. Railey would find
very,
cool.
very cool.
So the Lumineers, I didn't even plan on seeing until like right before the concert.
Yeah. Where was it at?
Rome.
No way.
Yeah. So last year.
Where's it at? Shreveport. Rome.
Last year.
Rome, Texas?
Last year when I was on my study abroad trip in Italy, one of the guys mentioned that there was a Lumineers concert, and the professors that came with us brought their kids because I mean they weren't just going to leave them at home, and one of them, she was having her 16th birthday while we were on that trip, and she's a huge Lumineers fan. So of course they bought her tickets to that, and so a bunch of the other people that went, we got tickets, and I almost missed the concert because I bought mine on StubHub like a day or two before the concert. And it was like $120 or something.
Yeah, which I'm curious about the price.
Wasn't that bad because it wasn't a huge stadium actually, or not a huge. It
was like a
arena.
soccer stadium.
No, it was
concert hall.
There probably wasn't 5,000 people there, huh? It felt pretty small.
Yeah, it wasn't huge or anything.
Yeah,
but it was outdoors, huh?
Yeah, and so I bought that ticket off StubHub.
It was at the Coliseum.
It was just like it's like a resale ticket or whatever, and it wasn't sent to me that morning. And the concert was that night. And I'm like waiting on it to come through because other people did the same thing, and they had already got theirs.
Yeah, I've been ripped off.
Mine wasn't coming through. I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So I get to the concert, ticket still hasn't come through.
Oh my goodness!
And so I had the receipt on my phone, but it's not like the actual ticket.
Right.
And so I just try to go. I got through security with just that because they didn't look that close at it, and then I was like almost in. I was at like the gate to walk to my seat, and then they looked at it and they were like it's not going to go through, and that was really confusing because they were Italian, so there was a little miscommunication there, so it was really complicated, and they were like, you're going to have to go to the ticket office and buy a ticket. I was like, are there going to be any left?
Yeah.
I was like, literally the concert starts in like 10 minutes. So I go there and I ended up I managed to get a ticket. I want to say I was in the pit originally, and then I was like up in the seats, but I mean, it was one section of like, it was the pit and then it was one level.
Not bad.
So not bad at all.
What was the price for that?
$60. And then I got my refund from StubHub back like in December, and that was in like June or July.
Yeah.
But I did eventually get it back. So I saved like $60.
Yeah.
And
Worked
still
out
a good
good.
seat. And the one of the performers for them, I don't even know what to call him because he played like 6 instruments throughout the concert, and they used more instruments than I've ever seen at a concert.
What is that?
And he goes through the crowd, goes up to the second level, and is like walking across the front. And I'm probably 3 or 4 rows back from the railing. This dude, I'll show you the video later. You just got to remind me when we finish this. But he stands up on the railing and he's playing his guitar, and he has someone on the front row like holding onto one of his hands, and he's also barefoot this whole time. He's standing on the railing playing the guitar, other dude's holding on to him, and he's like leaned back over the edge of the railing playing this guitar while he does this. Yeah. And he's like
for the
right in front
Lumineers,
of
like
me.
I don't even feel like that. Oh, that's necessary. Like
It was so cool. He was like right there in front of me doing it.
Had a death wish.
yeah, heck yeah.
I was like, dude, if this one fan just lets go of him, he's gone.
I'm not that big of a Lumineers fan.
yeah. Here you go. That's very, very cool. Yeah, I remember because
I just randomly sent a video of the concert. I think
it was
I
like
didn't say I was
like
going.
2 a.m. for us, and then Aston just sends a video, and it's like
You're like, what
Lumineers.
is this? Where are you at?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm at the Lumineers in Rome.
yeah, in Rome. That's very, very cool. Yeah.
What about your honorable mentions?
I would say Train was a really good one.
Very
that was
cool.
one me and Clay were like, cheap tickets. It's in Jackson, so it's pretty close.
25.
We'll go.
Yeah, $25, I think.
And we're like, we'll just go. And it was
Great.
like the first day of classes for the fall quarter. I went to class and like immediately went home, changed, and we went to the concert.
Yeah.
And we were back. I was back for class the next morning.
Yeah, it was
Didn't miss a beat.
It was in Brandon, so it was like 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah,
you ever been to the amphitheater there?
No.
Very, very cool.
It's nice.
They do a lot of not a lot of stuff I'm going to be very interested in. It's a lot of like country and stuff. I think Frank Foster's playing there in like 2 weeks or something. So not a lot of stuff I'm interested in, but it's a very, very cool.
They had
venue.
3 doors down there, like either the day before or the day after
Yeah.
we were there.
So pumping people
They're
through.
cool.
Yeah,
Well,
Train though, very cool.
I want to tell you one Train story real quick. I'm going to sound like an old man, but Nicole had won front row seats to Matchbox 20 Train opening.
Oh wow,
I was a senior in high school. My mom let me check out of school early.
there we go.
The day is going great. We have a whole plan. We're going to Superior Bar and Grill. It's going to be great. Front row seats. Never sat front row at that point. And I'm pumped up. You know what date that was? 9/11.
Oh my god, was it really?
Yeah. Oh my god. 9/11.
Did you go?
Man.
Did the
No,
concert
they
get
canceled it.
canceled?
Man.
What?
The president had flew to like Barksdale.
yeah, that's
Everything
true.
shut
God.
down.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, it was kind of a bad day.
Crazy.
For multiple reasons.
Did they reschedule or?
They're like, hey, we're going to reschedule, and they never came back.
So when people say, where were you on 9/11? You remember very clearly.
I remember very clearly, man. I was going to be on the front row at Matchbox 20 and Train.
that is
I'll say
wild.
the lead singer Train impressed me a lot. Like I was going because I was like, I know some of their songs. I like them. I'm not like a diehard fan or anything.
Yeah.
He impressed me so much. He covered American Girl by Tom Petty. Did it fantastically.
Yeah, that's what I like.
He what else did he cover? Hotel California, which was a really random one, but he did great on that too. And then was it Don't Stop Believing? It was some Journey song.
I think so, maybe.
Or was it was Faithfully, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a
Faithfully.
tough one.
Faithfully.
That's
And
a tough one.
he sounded exactly like Steve Perry.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that guy's talented.
Yeah.
9/11. That's hilarious. I don't care. Well, you need to go see Train one day. They're
No
good.
doubt. And Matchbox 20, I haven't seen them since. I'd love to see them.
Just hit them up and be
You
like,
just need to make sure you get
hey,
backstage. So
do
you
y'all
can,
remember 9/11?
remember
Oh, I
9/11,
guarantee
guys?
you. Yeah, they were like, we're in a tour bus in Bossier. Rah.
That's wild. But yeah, let's do this, guys.
Let's go. Let's get it started. Number 41.
Nope, wrong way. 60.
61.
Yeah,
Woo.
61.
I think they went
We're
straight
headed
to
to
the
41.
airport and performed for the president.
That would be
Yeah,
wild.
calmed them down. So what a Sade. Y'all talk about that. Love Deluxe.
It's been a while since I listened to this one.
Yep, me too. So I feel bad, guys, when these ones that I've listened to first, I kind of lose my train of thought. I'm going to start taking notes, though. what I will tell you is that I downloaded this.
Okay.
And that's a mark of excellence, if you ask me. Completely not in my realm of music world. Nothing in particularly stuck out, like a certain song that I was like, oh, I just love. Like we've said before, it's a vibe. This is beautiful music. She's got a beautiful voice, and man, it just kind of puts you in a good place, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I didn't know what Sade was. Apparently, it's a band. I was gonna say it sounded like a black woman, and I do see that now the lead singer is a black woman.
And that is her name. Yeah.
So English.
This is apparently
soul, jazz, pop, R&B. What is this?
I'm also seeing trip hop on Apple Music. This is our first successful trip hop album.
Yeah, we've had a lot of trip hop experience this list.
This is the first good one.
Some trip hop.
I would call this R&B.
I would have thought R&B for sure.
Yeah. It's called Love Deluxe. I mean, it's got to be R&B, right?
Yeah. R&B is the first one listed.
Yeah, R&B, trip hop, chill out. That's a genre, I guess.
I never heard of that.
Chill out music.
That's my kind of music.
Aston, what'd you think about it, man?
I liked it. I don't.
1992.
Did I download any of it? I don't know if I downloaded it, but I definitely listened to all of it and was like, and didn't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Like I listened to it and I was like, yeah, this is all good music. But I don't think there was anything that stood out that made me download it that I can remember.
Well, it's no,
but I have no issue with it.
It's not a top 60 album. 61.
Certainly, I can move it up down the list a little bit for sure.
Okay.
But I wouldn't argue with it too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it do anything to stand out from a 92 perspective? Anything that defines itself in the R&B landscape of the 90s?
You know, I'm not versed enough to make that decision, but I certainly think the possibilities there.
Okay.
What a vague answer.
Okay.
Certainly could have.
Well, let's go to this next 20. Number 60, The Velvet Underground and Nico, 1967.
I love this one.
I figured you would.
I was listening to it and I was like, this is really, really good. And this was another one. I mentioned this about a different album. I think it was, Jimi Hendrix is what I said this about.
Yeah.
I was listening to this, and I was about halfway through. And I was like, man, this is like really good. And I was trying to figure out when it was from, and I was thinking kind of like 80s-ish. 67.
That's a sign of a great album. It's timeless.
Very timeless. Because this sounds like it could have come out in any decade after that, honestly. This is a very influential album, I feel like. And I'd heard of the Velvet Underground, never listened to it, didn't know what they were, didn't know what kind of music it was, didn't know they were this early. I definitely thought they were from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
So
it's like and I don't want to misspeak, but did they influence punk wholeheartedly? Maybe.
Probably. With it being this early, I mean, if you look at it, was probably them and the Beatles were probably two of the most influential for other genres at that point in time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because, I mean, the Beatles weren't doing this, but they were doing a lot of other stuff other people weren't doing.
Right.
So I'm sure most rock in general probably can trace back some influence to this.
Yeah, no doubt. I've said it before. I need some new material, but this is another one I was excited to see. My heroes. These are my heroes, right? So I was excited to listen to it. Definitely nothing. I didn't turn it off. I didn't skip it. And it's weird because I like different strange things. And I appreciated it as Ashton did completely. But I didn't like it. You know, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't download it. I didn't download any songs. It just isn't my thing. But I respect it so much because you can see those influences. You know, you listen to it, you're like, well, this influenced the Ramones. This influenced, it's a whole list,
Yeah, I mean, one of the things Wikipedia says is it became regarded as one of the most influential albums in rock and pop music.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And Rolling Stones had it on the top 500 albums list in 2003 as number 13. And then in 2020, when they updated it, they put it number 23.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, definitely seems like it's influential. I was very brutal with my take, I guess. This music,
I knew this was coming.
This music sucks. It's 1967, but I don't care. It's boring, not worthy. So that was my takeaway from it. I guess it just wasn't my kind of music, which does not come as a surprise to me.
Very interesting that I'm seeing on the screen up here that Andy Warhol was a producer for it. I thought he only made like paintings,
art, right? I read the backstory on it. I wish I could tell you more about it, but I think I read the Wikipedia page, and yeah, it's definitely got some interesting origins there, especially Andy Warhol, your producer.
Yeah.
Maybe he found him in a club, and I don't think there was much thought put into it. It didn't seem like.
Yeah,
it's like they had a sound and it struck a chord with people.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So yeah, definitely influential. I think it, just for the times itself, deserves a spot. But yeah, let's move on to 59. So AM by Arctic Monkeys. One of the probably newer ones that we've talked about so far, 2013. What y'all's thoughts?
I liked it. I didn't download the album. I did download 3 songs. It's certainly a fun thing to listen through all the way through. But I downloaded Do I Want to Know, the opening song, which was great. And then I'm going to call it a deep track, but I downloaded I Want It All and Number One Party Anthem.
Okay.
Great kind of offshoot of the Strokes, kind of. Maybe that's kind of a stretch, but I kind of lump all those bands together. Mm-hmm. I do have one problem. I haven't finished the list, but with those bands that are in here, if the White Stripes aren't in here, this would be a catastrophe for the White Stripes not to be, because I put all those bands in the same era.
The White Stripes are not on here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely
cancel the podcast.
So this is like which album was it? Was like the Lord album where I said there's other stuff similar to this that I would put above it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Okay. I like this album. I had listened to it probably last year for the first time. I listened to all of it. And I don't have every song off of it downloaded, but there's a good bit of them that I like a lot. Hunter picked it as one of his Tuesday Tune picks.
That's awesome.
Pretty early on. I think it was one of I counted before this list came out. I want to say there were 6 albums on it. There were 6 albums on it that we had picked for Tuesday Tunes at that point.
Yeah.
I had 3 of them, and then I think everyone except Chance had one.
Yeah. And mine was freaking SZA, which I don't even agree with her being on here. I liked this. I said it was easy to listen to. I feel like they'd be very good in concert.
Yes.
Very early 2010s vibe in a good way. Like it's a kind of music that you listen to and you're like, I know when this came out, and it represents just like a certain time in the world.
And in not cheesy, in a non-cheesy way. Yeah.
Yeah, I said it's worthy, but probably should be lower on the list.
For sure.
I think it could go in like the 90s, something like that. But yeah, I liked this. This is probably one of my favorite listens up to this point in the list.
Which songs did you listen to off of this one?
I don't even remember. I know the first one for sure. Do I want to know? I listened to it was like 4 or 5 of them.
Okay. Why did you only call me when you're high? Is one of my favorite ones off of there.
It was like really a week and a half ago, so I don't exactly remember. Yeah. But there are some of these in the next 20 that I wrote down a song that I loved.
Okay.
So.
Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess they didn't have necessarily a standout song. I just overall liked them. Yeah, as an album.
I'm going to speak for myself. I thought this whole list of 20, for the most part, was a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah, I didn't have
it's very
any
different.
That I went through on this one where I hated it.
They're very different. They're all unique. They're
they're great works of art.
Yeah, and I think as we're getting higher in the list, we're getting these.
This is how it should be at this point.
Yeah, we're getting better albums and more significant stuff just all around.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's move on to 58, Oasis.
Yeah.
What's the story? Morning Glory.
Amen.
This is probably definitely out of this section of 20. I'm not sure if it is off the whole list. Out of the ones that I hadn't listened to before this list came out, this is definitely in the top 3 of what I've listened to the most since hearing it for the first time. I've listened to this album probably 3 or 4 times this week already.
Hey.
Yeah. And I also didn't realize this is where Wonderwall came from.
Yeah.
Right.
And I recognize like the the chorus of Wonderwall, but I don't know if I'd actually heard the full song before.
Yeah.
I was kind of like that. Like, I knew if you say, have you ever heard Wonderwall, I would say yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those songs everyone recognizes, but I don't know if I'd ever heard the full song.
Very popular.
I liked it a lot.
Great song.
I loved this album.
Really good.
I put very good. First time listening beyond Wonderwall, absolutely would download this. Very worthy.
Yeah.
Riley, I'm sure you're a fan, right?
Oh yeah, big fan. They were they're still hugely popular. I think there's people that would give blood to have them. You have to read about it, because they're brothers.
Okay.
And they do not get along. I can remember one story in the 90s, like one of them left and went to the balcony and watched the rest of the show. Could have been their last show. I don't know. They do not like each other, I don't think. But they're great. They're fantastic. I had never listened to an album in its entirety. I just know the radio hits.
Yeah.
It reminds me of where the Beatles probably would have picked up in the 90s some way.
I like that.
I definitely sense a big Beatles presence, and I love it. And I mean, just to highlight, of course, you got Wonderwall. Then you have Don't Look Back in Anger.
Wonderwall's just so good. It really is. Like
that whole section there is fantastic, and definitely some songs I'd never heard of before that were super entertaining. Then you go to Morning Glory, which was a great tune.
Yes,
and
that.
Yeah, and then you end up with Champagne Supernova.
Yeah,
which
7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Great.
I think the Swamp songs weren't very great. I think the
I
other
didn't
stuff,
download the Swamp songs.
Yeah.
But they're also like 40 seconds. So.
Yeah. I think those I kind of skipped through, but I listened to more than just 2 or 3 off of this.
Was there a bluegrass song on there? Was it the Swamp song? I don't know.
That might be what that was.
But yeah, I think we should write this one down.
Heck yeah.
This might be a top 20 discussion.
I don't know about that. It seems well where it's at. I'll have to see the rest of the list though. But I'll definitely. Okay, I will write it down.
We all liked it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of the few we've all agreed on.
Well, Clay liked it. I think that's the biggest standout.
Have there been any where you said you loved them? You haven't listened to most of them that we've gone to at this point. But
I mean, probably like 5 that I would say I really, really enjoyed.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get into some that you'll like soon.
Yes,
so
for sure.
That's good.
Not too, I think there's a decent amount on here that y'all think y'all are gonna be surprised with.
Yeah.
Let's go to 57. D'Angelo, Voodoo. Rayleigh, you just picked this recently for
Yeah, man. What a jam! What a jam! This is
was this
fantastic.
a you and Nicole thing?
No, man. No, not at all. So just to give you some context, this song came out mid-90s, 98 maybe. I'm not real sure. Maybe 2000. I'm not specific, but I was a teenager. And if you haven't seen the video on YouTube, you need to.
2000.
This video scared people.
Okay.
Yeah. He is completely naked. It's just him and maybe like a white backdrop.
Okay.
It was like the reason you couldn't watch VH1. VH1 is where we got our videos from in Jonesboro back in the day. And the camera goes low. Very, very low. Very uncomfortable low. And there's some rumors of what's going on in this video as a teenager. I'm not going to repeat on air, but it freaked everybody out. And to be honest with you, I wasn't in that music at the time. I did recognize it as beautiful, but it almost, to me, come out as gimmicky. Now I look back on it and see it as art, and appreciate that. And it was very bold. And it was a time where everybody was trying to out-sex appeal everybody on music videos. So I think it was in the right vein. But it was just like D'Angelo, the weird video guy, kind of.
Which the cover is kind of like that too.
Yeah, imagine that in like 3 inches lower. That was the music video. And the dude is buff for sure. But let me tell you about the album. So I even had that opinion of it. Listen, like, why is this here? After listening to it, I completely 100% understand why that's here. It's a barn burner, man. It starts off a barn burner and it just keeps going. The band in it is awesome. They're playing great songs, and then it ends with "How Does It Feel?" Untitled. That's turn it on, crank it up. You're in a mood, man. It's not even a vibe, you're just immersed. Big fan of it. And instant download. I probably had it downloaded before Chicken Grease, man.
Chicken Grease. What a name.
Yeah.
What a name. I wasn't a huge fan. It's not my kind of music necessarily. I'm not a really big R&B kind of guy.
I'm not either. That's weird.
I think this felt very soul. Like more
neo
than
soul
R&B.
is how it's described.
Okay,
on Apple
yeah,
Music.
I could see that for sure. One thing I wrote was it feels more dependent upon the instruments and chorus rather than the lyrics, which I think is kind of different for R&B. Because with R&B, I mean, if you think of the big R&B names, you usually just relate to the lyrics and you kind of want to sing them, stuff like that.
Yeah.
This I don't necessarily feel was that kind of R&B.
There's no sing-alongs.
Yeah, which I think might be what makes it stand out a little bit because it's different. I mean, you think of like Boys to Men, like you're gonna scream those lyrics out. You mentioned that.
You know the chorus.
Yeah, with D'Angelo, it feels like you're just there to kind of just listen to it. And is there anything wrong with that? No, but I don't think that's really my kind of music. So yeah, not for me, but I guess I could see where it's significant in a 2000s R&B landscape.
Yeah. I wanted to add, I thought this was interesting because seeing his musicianship and what he had together, I was like, why? Because it was just that video, that one song, that was it. He disappeared. He really didn't do much after that. I think maybe produced, maybe some personal issues, divorce, stuff like that. Maybe scared of fame. I can't remember what all I read on his Wikipedia page, but it's like, this is it. Maybe one other album. What'd you think?
I liked it. I listened to all of it, and I don't think there were any songs where I was like, oh, I don't like this one.
Yeah.
I downloaded a good bit of them. This is one I need to go back and listen to again just because it's been a while. This is one of the first ones I listened to, so it was probably like almost 2 weeks ago.
Play it on a Friday, leaving work.
I could see that.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and listen to this one again for sure.
Definitely. If you didn't listen to that last song on the album, definitely.
I did. I had that one downloaded.
Have you ranked it for Tuesday Tunes?
I have not yet.
Okay.
So I'll listen to it again anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
And definitely watch the YouTube video.
Okay. Just make sure you're alone.
Yes.
Let's go 50,
up at work.
Let's go 56. The Cure.
Disintegration.
1989. What we thinking about this one?
This was another one that I need to go listen to again because it's been a while. I remember liking it. Not a lot stood out to me though.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have that many thoughts about it. I need to listen to it again. Maybe it'll change my mind. I think I downloaded one song off of it.
Which one was that?
I think it was Love Song.
Yeah, that's one I downloaded too and enjoyed the listen. The Cure are legends. The only Cure song I know is the one like Friday I'm in Love with You.
That's the only other one I have downloaded.
So I was really pumped up to.
And I like that one a lot.
That's a great song. I listen to it about every Friday. I mean, I think everybody should. But I downloaded Love Song. I downloaded Lullaby, and I downloaded Fascination Street. I definitely, kind of like we talked about before, I see this being a game changer album coming out at the time, although I didn't experience it, so I can't tell you much about it. They're definitely unique and different, but certainly, not just one of my favorites or anything like that. I did not download the whole album.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a bold take here.
Heck yeah.
Y'all mentioned
this is trash.
Y'all mentioned about 4 songs, and Pictures of You is not one that y'all mentioned. I think that was
that's
incredible.
a favorite on there.
That was incredible.
Really?
I wrote down Pictures of You was awesome. One of my favorite songs from this entire list that we have talked about, all 50 albums so far. The other songs were okay. I think it's worthy of this top 100, but I think it should be a little bit lower. But yeah, Pictures of You was an absolute standout for me.
I'm going to listen to that on the way home.
I loved that song.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Maybe I was distracted.
And it just, I don't know, it just gave off like they give off like a mysterious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
The number one genre being gothic rock absolutely makes sense. It kind of reminded me of playing Call of Duty Zombies. Like it just kind of reminded me of that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a good one.
That's the kind of rock I will compare this to. I didn't mind this at all. I liked it.
Now that Railey said he was distracted, I remember I listened to this when I was at the gym for the first time. This isn't the song, the album to listen to at the gym.
Not gym.
So I wasn't very focused on it. I should. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it again for sure. Not at the gym, and I think it'll be better.
So The Cure, I think it's fine.
Heck yeah.
I would never have listened to this if we didn't do this.
Hey,
this
that's
thing.
a great point, right?
Yeah.
You're not a Cure guy.
No.
And you found one of your favorite songs.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
The Pictures of You was awesome.
That's
Like,
great, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a good story.
And I'd heard of Love Song before. I don't think I'd ever necessarily heard it, and still that one didn't stand out to me as Pictures of You did. So yeah, I think that's our Cure talk there. What's next?
Oh man,
Riri.
I'm excited about this one.
Here we go. Yeah, let's go Rihanna.
Well, my wife, one evening we were just sitting around, and I said I need to listen to a few albums. She let me look at the list. What can I listen to?
She
with
picked
you?
out Rihanna.
She picked out Rihanna,
yeah.
and we had a wonderful evening sitting on the back porch, little light breeze, and listened to this whole album. I never listened to the whole album. It's great.
Yeah, it is.
It's great.
It is.
Not quite Lemonade-ish. That holds a high standard in there. But it is one of those things that you put on and you enjoy every single bit of it.
Yeah.
And it's a huge album for her. For my wife, she said, "Hey, this is probably Rihanna's best album."
I think I'm gonna put that as the best album. It would be a comparison. It'd be a battle between this and what's the I can't think of the freaking
The other
name of the
Rihanna album.
Yeah, it's like the green
I know
one
what you're talking
with
about.
Umbrella, Take a Bow.
Yeah, I could
It's like
see that
like
being
2007.
Yeah,
I can't think of it now.
About.
But for this, I put Love on the Brain, top 5 Rihanna song for me.
Love on the Brain was the one I downloaded off of this.
Yeah, I've loved that song for so long.
That is a soulful jam.
It's incredible. It's
Love
incredible.
song.
It's incredible.
It is. I mean, it's great. Almost hints of rock in it. I don't know. I'm a rock guy,
Yeah.
and that song appeals to me. Guitar lyrics and guitar hits.
Good Girl
and
Gone
stuff like
Bad. Yeah, that's the album. That one's great.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good Girl Gone Bad would be her best in my opinion.
I
but
think
this
I
is
would have
very
picked
close.
that over this. I didn't love this album.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't bad or anything, but it was just kind of okay to me.
Yeah.
I listened to it and I was like, okay, I got through it. It's fine. I don't
Close
know.
to You is another standout for me. I thought that was very good. Yep. The one downer for this would be that I don't the more popular songs. Like if you ask people what songs are off of Anti, it's going to be Work, which I don't really like. And It's
Yeah.
just her
Probably
saying
the
work,
worst
work,
one on
work,
here.
and then Sex with Me. That was very popular when I was in high school. I wasn't a big fan of that really either.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's not a bad thing necessarily. Is that, and I
But
think it happens a lot to popular artists and these popular albums where, if you go and listen to an album deep dive, there's going to be a lot of times where you don't really love the most popular songs.
Yeah.
Because, some of them are just made for radio while
They're singles.
yeah, like Love on the Brain was still pretty popular, but you're not going to play that on the radio compared to Work.
Right.
Like Work's just like
Yeah.
that's something you're going to hear
kind
on
of
the radio and it's going to be
family-friendly.
fun. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you're right. Love on the Brain is the best song on this album. yeah.
It's been
Maybe
legit
in her
top
catalog.
5. Honestly, I would put it up there.
Yeah, I agree.
I also said that I think this is Rihanna's sexiest album.
Amen.
I think
It
she
oozes
takes
very-
like more risk and everything, and if you go back to like the Good Girl Gone Bad, like 2007, whenever Rihanna was getting on the scene, she always had like some sexy vibe to her.
Right.
But I think this was 10 years after she debuted, and I think she just stopped caring about public perception at that point,
Yeah.
and she just went for it. And
full-blown sex symbol.
it was definitely risky, and I don't think she really cared. She was like, "I'm Rihanna. What are y'all gonna do?"
Yeah.
And really after that, we haven't seen anything from her. So I think that's kind
Super
of
Bowl.
yeah. But I mean, she
No
hasn't
new albums.
Yeah, no album since 2016.
Yeah.
which is a shame.
I think she's doing like billionaire private concerts. From
She also just gets pregnant every 9 months.
Yeah. I'm not judging.
No. Shout out ASAP. So yeah, I think it's worthy still, just because it's Rihanna and she needs to be on this list. But yeah, I think Good Girl Gone Bad would have probably been my pick for her. But I'm not going to disagree with Anti.
Yeah.
Let's move on to
John Coltrane.
All right, yeah.
A Love Supreme.
33 minutes of jazz music. No, thank you. That was my review.
Yeah. I can respect it. It wasn't my favorite, which I wasn't opposed to it either. I don't mind an instrumental. I like some jazz stuff. Nothing really hit me out of it though. But I do respect it because I believe he did a lot of stuff on this album that hadn't been done before in jazz.
Oh yeah,
and kind of broke a lot of
molds.
Yeah, kind of broke the mold and how you make music.
Yeah.
When you listen to this, how do you judge it?
That's well. I want to hold that question. Okay. Hold that question, because I'm not the biggest jazz fan.
Okay.
I hated it as a kid. I mean, it just god awful. No singing. You know, but there are these aspects of jazz that have crept into my life.
Okay.
Not familiar with any of John Coltrane's specific songs, but I know him as a legend.
Yeah, definitely.
Excited about this. Listened to it all the way through and just didn't do anything for me, man.
Yeah.
It's a specific type of jazz. I'm sure you could tell him what type it is. He invented it, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. But how do you rank jazz? Man, there are some instrumentation of jazz that you just feel it. I mean, you can feel it in your soul. It grooves you. And it doesn't leave you lacking for lyrics or anything else. His stuff is so like avant-garde in the way the notes go and flow.
What a pull there. Okay,
but it was too weird for me. At times, it wasn't flowing. So, like you, respect it. I see this as a game changer album, but I don't like that. You know.
Yeah. And I mean, I picked a jazz album for Tuesday Tunes last week, not this week.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that one has a couple songs with lyrics on it, but I'll say
the Japanese thing.
Yeah,
yeah. It's got lyrics on
probably 25% of the songs.
Really? Oh, well, I guess just the ones I've looked at had the lyrics.
I feel bad saying this, but to me, because I think this was like a kind of a religious thing, maybe to clean up his life, but to me it's like the jazz you come up with on drugs.
maybe yeah,
I'm making schmusic.
Well, it says in which, plus a liner note in which John Coltrane alludes to his overcoming addiction, and pinpoints his spiritual awakening.
Yeah, so I feel bad.
So he's overcoming the drugs when making this.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know much about some jazz.
Put it on the list. Leave it there. Don't listen to it or talk about it.
I guess so. Yeah. Pretty much. Just to shake your head and agree. What is next? Rolling Stones.
Oh yeah, I had actually never listened to the Rolling Stones before this. Surprisingly,
really? Wow.
And I mean, obviously knew the name. One of the biggest rock bands there is. This isn't the type of music I thought they made. By the way, I definitely thought they were closer to like AC/DC, Guns N' Roses type rock.
Yeah, I see that because of the logo and their association with rock and roll.
That's just what I was expecting. And so I got to this and I was like, oh, okay, I'll probably like it, but it won't be something that appeals to me that much because it's not my favorite type of rock.
Yeah.
This was great. I loved this album.
Yeah, it was fun to listen to.
And it was interesting because it feels like they went through a lot of different types of rock as you go through the
kind of progressing through.
Yeah. Like as you progress through the album, you get different types of rock songs.
And I'm no expert, man, but they even have songs that are kind of country. I mean,
I can see that on some of these. I think Sweet Virginia was one that was like that.
Yeah, kind of slowed down. That's a great tune. Yeah. Sweet Virginia's a great tune. But I don't think they wanted to be pigeonholed. That's what I get. It's like, hey, if it's music, we can make it.
Genres: rock and roll, hard rock, country, blues.
Yes.
There you go.
It was rocking from the get-go, man, the whole album.
Oh, yeah. That very first song is great.
It is great. And it seemed to kind of get better and then, to me, kind of plateau up there with Tumbling Dice. I absolutely, Clay, if you didn't listen to that one, you got to listen to Tumbling Dice, a bluesy,
very good,
just great tune, man. I mean, like one of my all-time favorites.
This is one of the albums where I kind of just played through some of them because what I put down was it's good music. I don't think anything stood out necessarily for me. Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's the Rolling Stones. Like, how do you can't say that name without knowing that they are like one of the most iconic brands of music. I mean,
I'm
it's
surprised.
The Rolling Stones, literally.
What's this isn't like their most iconic album, right?
I don't think so, man.
It's the one with
it's the Elton John talk. Is this? Oh, well, you got Sticky Fingers. You got
the one with the tongue on the album cover is the one I always think of when I think Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
this is their 10th album.
I think they have several you could choose from. I did want to highlight. I really enjoyed the Loving Cup. And Shine a Light, I don't know. I felt great about Shining Light. Ventilator Blues was a very weird song, but I liked it, maybe because I work in the healthcare field. And it was funny because I listened to the song and then later looked at the song title and didn't realize it was called Turd on the Run.
Yeah, I remember that one. Rolling Stone magazine, no bias here.
It's not.
Number 7 on the top 500 albums list in 2003 and 2012.
Yeah.
So top 10?
Yeah, we can't. Yeah.
The top 6 are all other Rolling Stones.
Yeah. No bias. In 2012, the album was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, who are we to even comment on this?
Which is the band's fourth album. So it's the fourth album to be inducted. So it took that long. So yeah, maybe like you said, it's not the most popular.
What did you think, Clay?
Yeah, it was fine. I don't think it necessarily stood out. And probably my first time listening to the Rolling Stones. They have 70s, so I might have heard some stuff on like 70s on 7.
You did.
But yeah, for the first time to sit down and actually, click Rolling Stones myself, it was fine. Nothing to hate, and I'm not really going to argue with them being on this list.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that we get this. What a heck of a 3 we've got coming up right here.
It is. It really
Rolling
is.
Stones, Guns N' Roses, Prince.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty popular. Let's talk Guns N' Roses. Also back to back 87 albums.
Yeah.
Wow. And then a third 87 album 2 picks later. Yeah, U2.
Crazy.
So Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
Man,
Rayleigh,
my
I feel
uncle
like you got to
had
leave
this
this
CD. It's one of those finds where you get a relative's music and it incorporates your brain. And yes, it did. I was probably listening to a lot of country when I found this, and it's nuts. And I've known it was nuts. You know, it was another one of those. I don't have to listen to this album at all, but I did and was excited to.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's just go through the tracks real quick.
Well, that's one of the things that stood out to me. Another band that I've never just gone to click Guns N' Roses myself because I didn't really have to. Like, I'm going to hear some of these songs regardless.
That's right.
Did not know that Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, and Sweet Child of Mine are on the same album.
Yeah. If you ask me to name 3 Guns N' Roses songs, it's probably going to be those 3. And they're all on the same album.
All on the same album.
And
we talked about no Elton John for sure. That like all the hits were so spaced out. I mean, God, all 3 on the same album.
Yeah, and
those were all singles.
And this is their debut album of really a sound. I think it's unique, right? His voice is unique. Slash's guitar playing is unique, but they had it, man. You're talking about an era of like hair metal kind of stuff like that, and this just hits you in the face. It's really hard. Some songs y'all didn't mention that are just great. Night Train is great. Mr. Brownstone is great. Not sure what that song's about, although I think it's cocaine. My Michelle is fantastic, and You're Crazy, another good one, man. I don't think there's not a terrible song on this album.
No.
So you got 4 or 5, probably 5 rock and roll standards, and then the rest of them are good too.
Yeah, I think the easiest way just to describe this is iconic.
Yeah,
especially with
it is iconic.
Those 3 singles
with those 3 songs right there that can carry an album,
and it's a complete album.
Yeah,
I haven't said it a lot, but my criteria earlier on was put an album on, don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And this one fits the bill.
I think you need to write this one down.
You got it.
This one wasn't one of my favorites, but I definitely see why it's on here. Like, just this isn't my type of rock, but and I think we talked about this. I think on the first episode, where some songs you just hear so much that you don't want to listen to them anymore.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I was with these 3 singles.
Yeah, I see
Welcome
that.
to the Jungle, I
Jungle.
could feel that way, but for Paradise City, that's one of my favorite rock songs ever.
Heck yeah.
And that one definitely stands out to me. And you ever seen Rock of Ages?
Yeah.
I love that because Tom Cruise sings Paradise City in that.
That's a great
and
film. I forgot about
that's
that.
the first time I ever listened to the song. That was like 2011, something like that. But yeah, Paradise City, ever since that movie, I've loved the song and I'll always love it. And yeah, Sweet Child of Mine, you think of Step Brothers for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Welcome to the Jungle, definitely a little overplayed, but...
Well, check out Can't Hardly Wait. I talk about the soundtrack of the movie all the time.
I've needed to watch that for so long.
Paradise City's in that. It's iconic. You got to see it.
Yeah, whenever you picked that album, I was like, that's a movie that I've had on my watch list for years.
Watch it.
I'm going to love that.
Teenage flick.
Absolutely. I started One Tree Hill recently.
I've never seen that.
Did you? I'm
So
addicted.
you watched it for a long
I
time.
started it
last night.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Finished season 1 last night at 5 a.m. Yeah.
I love that.
I'm addicted. That's why I picked the Gavin DeGraw album.
Dude, I wasn't lying when I told you that was on repeat. That's a great album.
It's great. So yeah, let's move on to Prince.
Sign of the Times.
Sign of the Times.
Okay, this was kind of a weird one for me.
Sign me out of the Times.
This was a weird one for me because, first of all, Prince, one of the most recognizable names in music. I didn't even recognize this album, for one thing.
Never heard
And
of
second,
I'd heard of the name Sign of the Times.
Second, this is not in his top 2 albums, I think. And I mean, one of his other albums is later in the list.
I knew it was. Haven't looked.
Has to
Purple
be.
Rain.
Yeah.
And I think 1999 is way better than this.
You're right.
Yeah.
I was excited because I never heard of it.
I like Prince a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, some songs I don't know about my
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
Not one song I'd ever heard looking at it, and I that's okay. That doesn't bother me. But then I listened to it. I did not download a single song, and to be at this,
and it's Prince.
It's Prince. Hey, musicianship's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. His band is on fire.
Well, this is his first album without his band, The Revolution.
Whoever's playing,
whoever's doing the
great.
instruments, yeah.
Yeah. But man, and definitely not a bad listen. You don't listen
No,
to
it's
it.
not-
I
it's
gotta
not
turn
bad.
this off.
No, yeah, I mean, the title song for me, Sign of the Times, I've put that was very good. I liked that a lot. Not a Prince fan in the slightest, so really the rest of the music didn't really stand out to me. Not really anything I'm gonna
Didn't make you want
love,
to dance,
but yeah,
Didn't make you
it's
wanna
also
sing,
it's also
which is
Prince.
crazy for Prince.
So
It is.
I don't think I'm gonna like anything he does just because.
Oh, surely,
Oh, he's got 2 great albums for me.
I don't think
surely, Clay.
so. Everything I've ever heard from him, it never really stands out. There's just I don't know. It's just not for me necessarily. I don't know. But yeah, and it's hard to argue because it is Prince, so you can't just say.
But I wouldn't put this album on there.
I wouldn't.
I would replace it with 1999.
I would replace it. I wouldn't put it on the list.
And for this to be one of the albums that they used to be one of the rare exceptions to only picking one album per artist,
Yeah.
for this to be one of them that they picked a double album, does not deserve that
That's
spot.
kind of a tragedy. You're right.
1999, you could say could take that spot.
Yeah.
And I think it would make sense to have both of those albums on the list. I don't think this one should be on there.
Does not fit.
So
Really
this
doesn't.
was his 9th album? Yes, it's his 9th album. So when was Purple Rain?
I'm gonna say like 84.
Before this for sure? Or?
Oh
It was
yeah.
after that. It's not.
Was it that?
I'm about to look. Because, this could
That
be...
was a movie.
I wonder if this could have
soundtrack.
been the thing that set him off. It was 84. So this is after Purple Rain.
So he was already huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1999 was in 82.
So
So this was after both of those
The,
albums.
the best I can come up with is it was a new soundish. I know that sounds silly because not necessarily a new sound, maybe a different avenue. I don't know how to put it, but
It's got to be because he didn't have his band with him, but I don't know. I don't think that's enough to put it here.
no.
We
I
needed
agree.
we needed to get Eric Carter on the list on the mic for this one. Huge Prince guy. Huge Prince
Well,
guy.
I even asked Woods about it, and he's a huge Prince guy, and he wasn't familiar with this right off the top of his head,
Let's move on to the top 50. Kate Bush, Hounds of Love.
This was exciting.
I like this a lot more than I expected to.
I wanted to just say real quick, I was not familiar with Kate Bush, period, until
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Yep.
Like
That was the
I
one
think
song
that's
I
the
knew.
only reason this is only out on the list.
zero inkling, right?
Yeah.
And then when I heard that song and everybody's playing it, I thought it was a new song.
Yeah.
I really did. I
Yeah.
remember, to me, it
did feel new.
It
could've
almost
came
felt like
out.
it was made for that scene in the show.
It really did. It really freaked me out to find out
It was
that
awesome.
was an old song.
Awesome scene.
Yeah, that was popular back in
Yeah.
the day. It just blew my mind. So this was a very fun thing to listen to. Ultimately, though, I only downloaded that song. I didn't download, but
Yeah.
Running Up the Hill is 10 out of 10.
It's a great song.
Great music, great lyrics, great storytelling.
Yeah, because of that song, I was kind of excited to listen to the rest.
Yeah.
I said it's not bad music.
No.
It doesn't really... You're not going to be upset if you're listening to it.
Nope.
I did put that her voice is kind of hard to listen to for a long time. I don't know if it's just that, the manner that she sings, maybe a little bit of the accent. Even in Running Up the Hill, you kind of get it. Like, it's so unique. Like, you don't really hear people that sing that way. Mm-mm. And I think that's kind of, for a 47-minute album, it's not too long, but still, I don't know on a drive to Ruston if I'm going to want to listen to her by herself that much.
Yeah, good point.
Like, after a little while, you kind of feel it, but I don't know. What do you think, Aston?
I liked it. I liked the whole album. I downloaded Running Up That Hill, Hounds of Love, The Big Sky, and Cloud Bursting. So I downloaded 4 songs off of it.
Heck yeah.
Those first 3 are definitely the peak of the album for me.
You just named the first 4. You named the 4 singles.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, no wonder they stood out.
Good job by her.
I like an album built like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those first 3 were definitely the peak of it for me. It wasn't quite as good after that. I did, when I got to Jig of Life on there, I wasn't looking at the title, and I said, why does this sound like some kind of like Irish jig music? And then I looked down, and it's called Jig of Life, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's why. But I liked it. I can definitely see it inspiring people like Lorde and kind of other artists like that, like those kind of not indie, but like kind of alt rock, alternative, softer female artists.
Yeah,
she had to be super inspirational.
Yeah,
because you hear it today.
Yeah, it's just I think it's more so just honestly her voice that kind of turned me off of the album.
I disagree with that. It's not the voice.
I don't know.
The
maybe
bar
it's just
set high early, and then you kind of like, well, I need to hear more of that. And then to me, that's what it was.
Yeah,
the other
maybe
songs are filler, maybe. But I don't have a problem with her voice at all. I could listen to that like on repeat, like 12 hours out of the day.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I love
that. She ain't no Zach Bryan. I mean, let's go to 49. U2. This is not the album that Apple Music forced onto our phones.
We still have that album.
Yeah. Weird.
Did you pick U2 this week or last week?
I haven't picked it at all.
I could have sworn U2 was there recently. You got a weird thought, you said?
Yeah. So I might be delusional, but is U2 widely disliked and like made fun of the same way like Nickelback is?
Because
for some reason I had that thought.
Of the Apple Music. That's why they're hated. They got forced.
Yeah, and just talking to some friends, they're like, yeah, no.
And when I mentioned that, my mom went, ugh.
Yeah. He's an activist. And that rubs people the wrong way. I think it's a joke. I hope it's a joke. But they say at a concert, a song's playing, it stops. He starts clapping, and he says, every time I clap my hands, a child in Africa dies of hunger.
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ!
Somebody yells out, well, "Stop clapping your hands, you bastard!"
Stop clapping your hands.
Yeah. So. I think that I've talked to a lot of friends, and they're like, "Hey, I like you too, but I know the world's a terrible place. But gee whiz, move on." That doesn't. But to put them in that Nickelback category, I think would be unjustly because I was a Nickelback fan.
I don't dislike Nickelback. But they're made fun of.
Nickelback fell off. Well, they're made fun of because they fell off. Their first 2 albums are great. They turned pop from rock. They kind of sold out. Sorry, Nickelback. But I don't think that's the case with U2.
They performed.
They'll sell out arenas.
Didn't they open up the Sphere in Las Vegas? I think they opened it, right? Yeah. And they sold that out, which might have just been for the vibes.
No, they're selling. They're going to sell out stadiums.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a once in a lifetime concert for a U2 show for a U2 fan in general, and they're millions.
But anyways, because of that, I had very low expectations going in. I saw it and I was like, doesn't everybody hate these guys? Why are they on here?
They're great.
And I listened to it and I loved the album. And I was like, okay. I don't know why I was thinking that, but
it's a little haters.
That might have made it better actually, because I went in with very low expectations and I started listening and I was like, oh, I love it.
It's unbelievable.
For the 49th album, you're like, I don't really expect much out of it, and then it's really good.
Yeah.
I put it was good stuff. I enjoyed it. And I wrote down they'll always be hated because of the Apple Music stuff. Like whenever you say U2,
My wife still complains about
yeah,
that.
50% of the people at least are going to say, "Oh, the people that got forced onto our libraries." Yeah,
What was that? Was that just like the weirdest deal of all time with Apple?
It was like a promotional.
and it
deal
was
for
whenever
them.
it transitioned from iTunes to Apple Music, I think.
Yeah.
So that maybe there was just like a partnership to
Yeah,
open
come
it
check
up.
us out. That album wasn't bad, and I listened to several songs on it.
Had to.
So after 9/11, I go to Disney World in November, and
Didn't see
a
Train.
song off that album, if I'm not mistaken, was like "Stuck in a Moment You Can't Get Out of."
Okay.
And on the plane, after all these bad plane things happened, I
Yeah.
was freaking out. I'm stuck in a moment I can't get out of. But hey, just talk about this track listing real quick.
I didn't realize they were 1987.
Those.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
It's 80s band, man.
They don't seem like it.
The guitarist's name is The Edge. How cool is that?
Yeah,
Just so
there
you
you go.
know, that's pretty
Good
cool.
wrestler.
And you start off with The Streets Have No Name. Great.
Yeah.
What an album
The
opener.
first 4
It's
songs
insane.
again,
It's
incredible.
I didn't know that. I still haven't found what I'm looking for as U2.
That's
yeah, I didn't
great.
I
tune,
couldn't
man.
have told you who I thought the band was, but I didn't think it was them.
And then you go into With or Without You. I mean,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
It's good stuff.
And then I want to say the fourth song, Bullet to Blue Sky, is fantastic. You know, I don't know why that's not a favorite on their list, but that is a great tune, man.
Yeah, I had a good time overall with this. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. It's just so good.
It is.
Very, very good song.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I don't know if I would have told you, if it was a 70s song, 2000 song by whatever band, but for it to be 87 and U2, it definitely came as a shock to me.
Yeah.
And overall just impressive. It could be one that we write down.
Clay,
I'm writing it down. I
Did
insist.
you like the song One Tree Hill?
That's what you mentioned it about the other day.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it, and that might have been what put One Tree Hill in my mind again to start off the show.
I don't remember that. I don't remember anything about that song.
I need to
I can't
listen to
remember
it
the song
again.
clearly, but the first half of the album is just what I remember most distinctly.
Blows your mind.
Yeah, very good, very good. Shout out to you two. We'll give them some love.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Beastie Boys.
Ooh.
Another 80s album right here. We're on our
Really, was
Get
this
Straight?
Was it you that said Jason listens to this the other day at work, or was that somebody else? It had to be you. Why else would that have been brought up?
Maybe we did talk about
Because I don't know if you were messing with him or if he seriously is a Beastie Boys fan. I didn't ask.
I think he likes some rap stuff. I think so.
That's so
I'm
funny
sorry,
to
my
me.
brain's fried, but I remember I got in his truck and he had a lot of speaker. He had a good sound system, and I think we were listening to rap, but I don't remember if it was the Beastie Boys or not.
I didn't think this would be the Beastie Boys album we'd get.
Heck no,
No,
Heck no. I'm a little salty about it.
Actually, I'm okay with that because I like this one more than License to Ill.
I don't
know, man.
License to Ill is definitely the more iconic one, and maybe
what a
more of a
name for
game
this-
changer.
What about this next album name? An
But,
exciting evening at home with Shadrach,
Meshach,
Meshach, and
and
Abednego.
What are you hanging on the lines?
Yeah, what a name. This is my first time ever listening to the Beastie Boys, outside of a couple of their, most popular songs. I don't really know how to judge them. I don't know what my opinion is. You feel like it's obviously more of like, your times kind of.
Yeah, so I mean,
very
this is
popular.
the birth of white rap, as
Yeah.
far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. Wouldn't be any Eminem without them. And you grow up.
Maybe we shouldn't put them on here.
You love them. They're so unique. I take it Jewish kids from New York doing rap and just their style. No one's ever copied it.
Sometimes described as the Sgt. Pepper of hip hop.
They're so unique, and I don't know. They're very fun to listen to.
They are.
It was a fun listen.
They all get in together.
Where they're going back and forth, and then at the end, someone yells a word that repeats it. I don't know why. I love it every time.
It's kind of like some Tribe,
yeah,
De La Soul type vibes.
One lyric is not on this album, but he's like, "I'll stir fry you in my wok," and everybody comes in, and you're like, "That's great."
Yeah, it's
so fun.
It's fun.
It was a fun thing to listen to. Hey Ladies, though, I think everybody probably knew that song. Hey Ladies is great. It's got like a cowbell in it, played so unique, and it's like off time.
Yeah.
But you just love it. Like, I can't hear that enough. But is this the Beastie Boy album that needs to be on there? I don't think so.
I mean, if you ask me, or if you just say the name Beastie Boys to me, I'm going to think of the License to Ill album
I agree.
cover.
I think License to Ill has higher highs. For me, I don't think it's as consistent as this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that makes it rank.
If you're going off of, iconic albums from iconic artists, I think License to Ill would get the edge over that.
Yeah. If you're just going off of, like, what are you going to recognize, it's absolutely License to Ill.
Yeah.
And, it might be a similar, so many of these artists we've talked about where we've had other albums or stuff like that we would have probably picked from them. This could be another one like that, that, it's not what we expected, but is it that much worse? I don't think it's that much worse.
Yeah. I tell you, one song on here I really liked was Shadrach.
Yeah.
And it showed up on there, and I was like, Shadrach, as in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? And then that is what it was, and I was like, oh, okay.
Teaser for the next album.
I know.
That's crazy.
Real quick, read track 15 name, the title.
I don't know how to say that. It looks French. I'm
B-Boy Boulabassi.
Yeah,
something like that.
Threw me for a loop, man.
I don't know.
Bouillabaisse?
And there were a lot of them.
12 minutes long.
There were a lot of them.
Oh, is it combined on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So
on Apple Music, they're all like separated as short songs.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
5-piece chicken dinner. Looking down the barrel of a gun.
Heck of a name. Eggman.
Yeah.
3-minute rule. Yeah. So it's the Beastie Boys. I think they deserve a spot. They're not bad. I don't think they're a personal group that I'll ever listen to. But they're the Beastie Boys. They're iconic. They're influential. So
yeah,
I think they're worthy of a spot.
I don't get upset when they come on, but they're not one I'm often going to think, yeah, I want to listen to the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, you don't go dive in looking for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go to 47.
Here
Take
we go.
Care for Drake. Y'all start off.
I'm going to sit this one out.
Okay.
No, I'm just picking I'll put my 2 cents in because it's short and sweet. I'm on
Kendrick Lamar's side.
I'm on Kendrick Lamar's side, man. I'm taking just listen to this album and completely anti-Drake, man. In all seriousness, I enjoyed it. It's nothing that's off-putting.
Yeah.
This isn't my music at all. It wasn't enjoyable. It was enjoyable, but I did download HYFR.
Oh yeah,
I did like that, and I did like the motto. And
absolutely.
I'm sorry. I downloaded Lord Knows.
Good one.
But these songs in the back really did. But you had to go through so much to get to them. I was angry.
You didn't like Headlines? Headlines is arguably my favorite Drake song.
I'd agree with that. Headlines is I have. So this came out right around the time that I was honestly starting to like care about music, or just listen past whatever's on in the car. So I remember this album coming out. I remember Headlines being on the radio and like getting excited when that came on.
Yeah,
stuff like that. The motto was very influential in junior high. I mean, everyone was talking about it. It's the most iconic Drake album. I don't know if it's his best, in which what I will call his best is not agreed upon widely. Yeah. What I would say for this is like it does go into more of his R&B singing type of Drake. There's more of that on here than other albums, but I think it does have a decent amount of the rap blend as well, and it's probably the best blend of both that Drake offers. So I think that's kind of why it's the pick. But so when you listen, did you prefer the rap Drake or the sing Drake?
Rap Drake.
Okay, so for that you need to go to if you're reading this, it's too late. Just Hold On, We're Going Home. So some of his like 2015 albums, those are more rap.
Gotcha.
And this, I think, it's still early
is the
for
middle
him.
ground.
Yeah. It's got a good bit of rap. It's also got a good bit of R&B. So, and I've never been a huge fan of the R&B for Drake. The rap is obviously better in my opinion, but I'm not gonna hate this album at all. I like it. Obviously, yeah, I mean, the Lil Wayne songs are standouts and iconic. Headline's one of my favorite songs from Drake ever. Marvin's Room is very, very iconic. Crew Love, so much. Make Me Proud. Take Care, the title song as well with Rihanna, very good. But yeah, I'm not going to hate this. It's not a top 50 album of all time, but...
Wow, I thought you'd move it down.
Yeah, I would. No, it wouldn't go higher for me.
Yeah.
And I love Drake. He's one of my favorite artists ever, but yeah, it's just not going to be... It's not going to be up there for me.
I laughed during this one because I was listening to it, and I like Headlines a lot. And then the next few songs, Crew Love was all right. Take Care, okay. Marvin's Room, I expected to like a lot. Didn't care for it that much.
It's unique. It's
got to Buried Alive Interlude, and I was listening to this at the gym, and a verse comes on. I'm like, oh, this is one of the best verses on the album. And I was like, this is a feature. And I was like, this sounds familiar. Who is this? And it's Kendrick Lamar.
There we go. Yeah. That's
so
right.
He has one of the best verses on there.
The best verse on the Drake album is Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
The plot thickens.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to this. Drake deserves to be on the list, but
debatable.
He deserves to be on the list.
Yeah.
But
in terms of being like popular and having iconic songs and stuff.
And yeah, I don't know what album I would have picked from Drake if it wasn't this in terms of like overall popularity, but it's a good album. It's a good album.
It was.
That's how
I listened to it and I just thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was okay.
Yeah.
If I put it on here, it would be a lot lower.
The weirdest thing about him is just like that. Especially this album, I think you listen to it and you hear the name Drake, you think
TV show.
Well,
what TV show is he on?
Degrassi.
That's right. That's what I
but
think.
If you listen to a rap album that's on this top 100, you're going to think of it to be very influential, very like significant to the times. When you listen to this rap album from Drake, you almost think radio. Like you almost think it's
when I think Drake in general.
Yeah,
commercial radio hits.
Yeah, and I think that's what's makes him so controversial. And like, do you love him? Do you not? Like, it's not Nas. It's not Tupac. Like, you're not going to get like the significance out of Drake like that. You're going to get radio hits. You're going to get songs that everyone knows.
Yeah,
bringing that up, this over Tupac is insane.
It is insane, but maybe that's to his point.
Yeah.
This is more of a commercial success.
Yeah, definitely that.
And palatable to
definitely.
I mean, All Eyes on Me, though, that was
I agree.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
NWA, none of those should not be in front of any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. 95th on the Rolling Stones top 500 albums.
I might. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was jumping off the Drake real quick.
Let's go to 46.
I'm excited about this. Yeah.
Bob Marley?
Who doesn't like Jamaican tunes? Bob Marley is the king of it.
I've been getting into more Jamaican music recently. Like the last few months. I don't know what it is.
Hey, it's the summertime, right? It
started like February.
Oh, well, and it's feel-good music for the most part. You know, I don't know. It reminds me of hanging out on the beach. I'm a Bob Marley fan, but I only know him from his greatest hits album. That's it. Like, no, I couldn't name you a single album he had. Instant download before I even gave it a listen. Certainly don't regret it. And I mean, I just want to talk about a few songs, man. Exodus is just great. I love Exodus. I mean, I love it. I mean, 10 out of 10. Straight into Jamming, which is great. Waiting in Vain, which is great. And then Three Little Birds.
Three Little Birds.
You know, and there's my favorite Bob Marley songs aren't on this album, but I'm okay with that. I love the guy. I got to see the biopic.
Don't.
That's
my first statement on here is the movie ruined all of his music for me.
Oh, man.
Movie sucked.
Really?
Yeah. I don't leave movies. I left this movie.
Really?
Yeah. It's the first movie I've left in probably at least 5 years.
Oh, I'm down and out about it.
I was very excited. But we did a podcast at the beginning of the year of our top 10 most anticipated. This was like my number 6.
Yeah.
The movie. Because the trailer looked great. It just looked... And I wanted to learn more about Bob Marley.
Yeah.
The movie, you don't learn nothing about Bob Marley.
Really?
Like,
Because I want to know why would anybody want to shoot this guy?
Well, I also wanted to know. I wanted to know how he came up, how he became him. The movie starts off and Bob Marley is Bob Marley
Full
already.
grown.
Like, and it's just the movie sucks. The music's fine. It's Bob Marley music. I mean, it's what you expect.
Yeah, it's got its own sound,
I don't think
own
anyone's gonna be mad about it. I don't think anyone's gonna dislike it. If it gets turned on, most people are gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think that's how you describe Bob Marley. Is like it's a vibe.
Hard to hate.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
a vibe. That's pretty much how you. There ain't nothing really else to say. Is he the one that got killed by? No, his
He had
That was
bone
Marvin
cancer.
Gaye.
Marvin
that
Gaye
got
killed
shot by his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had bone cancer in his foot.
Okay. Wow.
Aston, what did you think, man?
I liked it. There were a few Bob Marley songs that I knew. I don't know if it was any of these. Waiting in Vain, I think I already had downloaded, maybe. But
Get that greatest hits.
yeah, there's a few Bob Marley songs I already had downloaded. I Shot the Sheriff was one of them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I can't
Get
remember
Up,
the
Stand
others.
Up is
Get Up,
another
Stand Up.
classic.
I shot the sheriff.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other ones. But
Steer It Up.
I'm excited for this next
Steer
album.
It Up.
heck of an album cover here.
Y'all ready for
Kinda
the next
freaked me
one?
out.
How do you pronounce the
Bjork.
Bjork?
I think Homogenic.
Railey 97. What was
What was going
Bjork
on
like?
there, right?
Yeah. Well,
Bjork was a weirdo, to be honest with you.
This album cover freaked me out looking at it.
She's very artistic. And I'm not going to say she was definitely popular.
yeah.
But not like mainstream popular. And when I saw this,
It was like,
I went like, bleh. Yeah. But there's an asterisk there. I loved it.
I really liked it. I really liked it too. I really did.
I loved every bit of it.
I don't know why I did. Like that's what I wrote down. I was like, why was this somehow good?
Yeah.
Like, it was very cool. The vocals I think were awesome. It's very unique.
Oh,
I can't think
so
of
unique. Man.
I can't think of anything that compares to this. It's just good. Like that's really the only way I can describe it.
You're not going to sing along to it.
No.
You're not going to remember a
I'm not sure
chorus.
you can sing along to
I don't
it.
think you can either. You know, but it is just good.
It's good.
There's nothing bad
Yeah.
about it, man. It got an instant download. I didn't cherry pick songs, man. I want to listen to this again. It is. It's so unique and so chill of a vibe, man.
This one and the Cure album. Those were the ones where I was like,
surprises for you.
yes, why am I enjoying this so much?
hands down, this was the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
for a fact I wasn't going to listen to it. I had to for y'all.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Aston?
I liked it. I don't think I loved it as much as y'all
Yeah.
did. I didn't download it. I'll probably give it another listen later on. But it was good. It was very well made.
I honestly would put this down for our top 20 debate just because of it's like how different it will be from everything else on that top 20 list.
Yeah.
I think it could deserve an argument.
I'll write it down grudgingly just
Yeah.
because I'm telling you how I was raised. I cannot tell people I like Bjork.
Yeah, I mean, but
Those
in
first
terms of
three
like,
songs were really, really good.
they were.
They
It
were
was
really,
just-
really
it
good.
was- I don't really
Oh,
know
man.
why this worked.
Oh, man.
But it
What
did.
radio station played this? That's the other
You're the
one.
one that would know.
What
I don't
kind of
know.
music is? I mean, VH1. I remember her being on VH1 and stuff like that. It's great.
I wonder if are the music videos as freaky as the album cover?
Probably.
Really, what stands out to me is like she went to the Grammys in like maybe a flamingo hat that was like yay big. You know, always at the Grammys she would have this artistic.
It was her in 2022.
Yeah,
wearing
artistic.
something. Was she Lady Gaga before her time?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely right on the money. Lady Gaga.
Look at
before
that
Lady
last
Gaga.
name.
Well, I was going to ask y'all how y'all pronounce the second
Yeoman's daughter.
track on the album
Oh God.
because I'm pretty sure is she Swedish? Am I losing? my mind?
Icelandic is what I just saw.
Icelandic. There we go.
Yoga is that
Yoga is what I was thinking.
Yoga. Yeah.
It's great.
It was good music, man. I don't know why. Let's move on to 45.
Heck yes.
I mean 44. Stevie Wonder.
Intervision, Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder, dude.
Amen.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be good for you, for sure. Lead it off, Aston.
I mean, it's Stevie Wonder. It was going to be incredible from the start. I don't think I've ever heard a bad Stevie Wonder song. There was only one song I already had downloaded off of here. It was "Living for the City." Great song. Love that song. just great album all the way through.
Yeah.
There wasn't a song on there I didn't like.
Did you not know Higher Ground?
I didn't have it downloaded. I know that. I probably heard it, but I didn't have it downloaded yet.
So yeah, big props to Stevie. Fun song to listen to. I mean, fun album to listen to. It was great. You know, nothing you wanted to turn off. Absolutely, positively love Higher Ground.
He's got a second album, right, on here?
Yes, he does.
He should.
Top
yeah.
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
I've never, I can't really say I've ever listened to Stevie Wonder in terms of, like, obviously the popular ones I have listened to.
Yeah, you've heard Signed, Sealed, Delivered. What are the other big ones?
You know what? I think I listened to the wrong album.
Oh, no.
Yep.
You listen to Songs in the Key of Life?
I did.
I saw that. I was just listening to the album just to listen to it the other day, and I saw that you had listened to it on Apple Music.
Yeah.
And I was like,
didn't listen to this. So my feelings are invalid.
All right, go listen to Higher Ground. Tell me what you think.
Well, I'll leave my comments on the other Stevie Wonder album until the next until the top 10 then.
Yeah.
That's right. Save them.
So are y'all good with this album in terms of where it's at or higher?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I think it's good right there.
Yeah, I think it's perfect placement. I wouldn't
Okay.
put it higher. Definitely wouldn't put it any lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say anything else then. Let's go to the Talking Heads.
Oh yeah. Clay, have you heard of these? Heard of them before?
I've heard of them. I've never listened to them. I don't think I had, at least.
There's a couple of Talking Heads songs that I had downloaded already. They're not one of my favorites. Talking Heads is weird in that I think people that are fans of Talking Heads absolutely love them.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of like people that are kind of in the middle on them.
Yeah, and look, it's one of those groups I hated growing up. It's that music that
they're weird.
I did not.
It's
like.
weird.
It's very strange. I want to hear a guitar. I want to hear drums. But something happens in life, and well, I'll tell you what it was. It was YouTube. I saw them playing "Burning Down the House."
Oh yeah, great
and
song.
They're rocking. The band's great. He's great. His dance moves are funky. I fell in love. I went back and just listened to like their Essential album. So I never listened to an album. So I was excited to listen to this. And it's so openly bizarre. It's weird. It's strange. It's not normal.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it tremendously. I really love their Essentials playlist. Like, I can't speak highly enough about that. So maybe I'm not the most honest fan. So this one had hits and misses for me, but certainly you liked Once in a Lifetime.
Once in a Lifetime is so good. One of my favorites from them.
It is.
That's the one I had downloaded.
Music. I mean, I love that song.
Love that
man.
song.
Metaphor for life somewhere in there. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I liked this album. It's nothing great. I put that. I don't think it really stands out. Maybe it did for.
Whoa! It's got to stand out, Clay.
I don't think it stood out for me. Which maybe it's because
I mean that compared to the Rolling Stones. What year did this come out?
1980.
So this is
7 years before.
Yeah, I mean, think about that comparison. This is completely different.
Maybe that is what it is. I said maybe it didn't stand out. I mean, it didn't stand out, but maybe it did for the time.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to judge. Like even back with the Velvet Underground with the start of the list, 67. Like you listen to it now, you know, maybe it doesn't really stand out as much, but in 1967, if you listen to it when it dropped, it was probably the greatest thing you ever heard. But yeah, I don't think there's any complaints for me out of this one. Probably too high on the list. 43. I think
move it down a little bit. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, it's probably a little high.
Their Essentials album would be in the top 10 though.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
But I get it.
The Talking Heads is one that I've actually had multiple people tell me to listen to them, but Ellis was one of them. And we were at work one day, and one of the girls that was in there said something about Ellis's music taste, and he's like, well, what do you listen to? And she said, I like music that makes me feel like I'm high. And we were like what? And Talking Heads was the first thing that she said.
Okay.
And me and Ellis both go, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another thing where it's significant for its time, but otherwise, I don't think it's nothing that stands out, and especially for a top 50 album. And maybe that's just me. Let's move on to 42 though. Janet Jackson, Control.
Oh, I like this a lot. you can definitely see the similarities with her and Michael Jackson on some of them. I think as you go down the album through the tracks, it gets more and more similar to his style of stuff. The beginning is more her own thing.
It matured. I know that's a weird way to describe it, but
I get what you mean. Yeah.
First thing for me is this is not the 42nd best album of all time.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. The overall I think I listened to maybe more songs off of this than any other album just because they were kind of short.
Yeah,
you honestly didn't like when one song ended, the other one just kind of they just kind of played, and I didn't really just hit next or nothing, you know.
I think she had an album around 2000 that I would put up there that I like.
It's just like solid, basic pop music. It's just the easiest way to describe it. But her last name's Jackson.
Yeah.
So that's why she's 42nd.
I thought the same thing.
That's my takeaway.
Nothing bad on it.
No, it's solid. It's bad. You're not going to disagree or dislike any of it. It's just... It's very solid. I think there's a lot better music, especially from the pop genre.
Well, I haven't listened to Nasty since like probably 92. And it is great. It is a good tune. But I caught myself chuckling as a kid. I thought it was like this hardcore nasty boys. But one of the lyrics that I never knew was nasty boys eating that nasty food. And I was like, what are we talking about? Are you eating unhealthy food? Or are you eating food out the trash? What are these nasty boys doing? What are they eating? Does she not like chili cheese fries or something? Like
oysters.
Bologna.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some type of... Hey, Louisiana's got some nasty...
I get it.
If other people looked at it like, what are you eating?
Yeah.
Pig feet?
Crawfish.
Frog legs? But yeah, it's just...
But Aston, what did you think, man? You liked it?
I liked it. I liked it. I wouldn't put it this high for sure.
I didn't download a single song.
I downloaded like 2 or 3 songs from it. Let me see. I downloaded 2. I downloaded He Doesn't Know I'm Live and Funny How Time Flies, which were close to the end.
We saved the best for last with 41.
Hey, she had some great music videos in the 2000s.
I can see that.
Yeah.
She has music that feels like a music video. I
yeah.
don't know what that means, but it makes sense.
This is not her at her peak.
41, Aquemini, Outcast.
I've never known how to say that.
Aquemini?
I didn't know how to say it before I heard Clay say it the other day either.
Yeah.
And then they said it on the album. I was like, okay.
Latreille, rapper in Jonesboro, had he did a cover of this song about 2018. So that's when I learned what Aquemini was. Iconic. Railey, write this album down.
Okay.
Top 20.
Okay. Well, I had this album downloaded before this.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. I love Outkast. They should have more than one album on here.
They definitely could.
They could probably have 3 or 4.
Would this be the album for them if they only had one though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I went through and looked, and this is just.
I mean,
this is incredible.
I think Stankonia has more hits.
Yeah, Stankonia could be on there for sure.
Yeah,
but short of
AT
that,
Aliens as well is
that's
very, very
got
good.
3 good songs I remember, but definitely it's this or Stankonia. I think. How unique are these guys?
They're so good, man. They're so
I mean,
good.
that's what made me download it. Is it's not like anything produced musically, lyrically. What they're doing, feeding off each other.
Andre
man.
3000's flows are just
they're
so unique. There's no one else like him.
Yeah.
The lyrics are just something you'll never get from honestly probably any other rap group in terms of just how iconic and amazing they are. Like this is an album where you sit and you listen to the lyrics and you're just like nodding your head.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, that's what you do when you listen to Outkast. You sit down, you listen to their lyrics. You're not necessarily there for the music. Like you're there for the lyrics, and that's what I love about them.
Well, I think the music's unique.
Oh, it is. It's a unique style, and especially with Aquemini and AT Aliens, it's just like it's weird, kind of. The music's weird, but the lyrics are what you kind of just want out of 90s rap.
No doubt.
It's like good lyrics behind music you would never think would work.
I agree.
Like that's how you describe this stuff. I mean,
they're not like any other rappers in general, but just like the production at the time was so different from what you heard.
Yes.
I
mean, they took it in a different direction.
Aquemini, the music for that is it starts out with like freaking bubbles.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what you're listening to, and then the best rap verse you've ever heard in your freaking life happens, and you're like, wow. The end of that, the last verse of that one is the one that Andre just like absolutely flows on, right? My thoughts, dun, 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 like that one. Welcome to the Lion's Den. I'm pretty sure that's that one. Skew It on the Barbie.
Yeah,
comes out so freaking fast. Rosa Parks, everyone loves that song.
Everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
iconic.
It's iconic, man.
There's no other way to describe it. The Art of Storytelling, some of my
Hush That
favorites.
Fuss.
Yes.
Makes me a little uncomfortable singing along to that one, though.
Everybody move to the back.
Should I be saying this? Don't sing it on a bus.
Spotty Adi Dopalicious, very, very good. The Art of Storytelling's probably top 5, top 10 for me for Outkast. Part 1. Part 2 is a little bit of a downer in terms of it's a little bit of a drop off, but part 1's awesome. It's Outkast, man. Put them down, top 20, maybe even higher. And I've always loved Outkast, but listening to this again was just it was a great time. It was a great time. Any other thoughts on that?
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, man.
Yeah.
Fun 20 to do.
Yeah.
And I'd like everybody to come back in about 10 days and hear us break down the top 20 albums of all
What's
time.
in this next
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, what's our next 20? Oh, we got some Nas very quickly at 39.
Hey, and
Beyonce, Wu-Tang, Public Enemy, Radiohead.
I've already started listening to some of these, which a lot of these
We
I'd
got
already
Biggie.
heard.
Oh, Billie Eilish. We finally get some Tribe.
Hey.
Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin.
We're going to have thoughts on that one for sure.
Kanye. Uh-oh.
David Bowie,
Here we
man.
go. Yeah, David Bowie, Miles Davis. I won't be listening to that. We get the Beatles, Bruce Springsteen, Daft Punk.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be some good stuff. It's gonna be some good stuff.
I'm excited about all of those.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones in this next.
And hey, y'all let us know what top 3 or something y'all might like us to discuss.
Yeah,
'cause,
we need to be thinking of that.
I'm thinking biopics, soundtracks, movies.
I could do
music
that. I can tell you that.
movies.
I can tell you those right now.
You know.
Yeah, I like that. We'll think of something. Those are fun to do. But yeah,
Thanks for listening.
that is it.